Woo! This is something, Florida, an early morning, and it is almost too hot to ride. I am just sweating here at 9 o'clock in the morning, and man, it's something. We're in the rainy season. And it's very humid. Anyway, welcome back to the channel, folks. If you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. Did I win the lottery of defects for 2020 in the Harley Davidson production line? So I've got 25,000 miles on the girl. But I've got a list of things I did to this bike, some I wanted to do, some I didn't want to do. And I'm thinking it's a 2020. And even my business was affected by the C word and the V word, which I'm not going to say, excuse the sweating, because you'll get a banner on this video if I even mention those two words, so I'm not going to do you a favor. But I know production lines everywhere. Now, 2020, some of the bikes were manufactured in 19. I believe this one was late 2020. And I think like any other business, there were production problems, manufacturing, there were quality control issues. But man, this bike has had so many things wrong with it. It had to be because of the C word in the 2020 production. And I'm wondering, did they use parts that they normally would not have used that didn't meet quality control? Maybe. Did they have people not showing up for work because they told them to stay home? Maybe. But let me just list a couple things. Of course, everyone knows about the wheel I had to replace that no one could figure out what it was. It was wearing out rotors, just eating them up every 5,000 miles. And no one ever thought it would be a manufacturing problem, but guess what? That's exactly what it was. And my mechanic, who's not a Harley dealer, he used to be a master mechanic for one of the Harley dealers here, he found it right away, but the dealers did not. And maybe because they didn't want to find it, because it's a 2020. But I had them look at the lower end, because I really wanted to refresh the low end on this bike. Because that's something you would do at 20,000 miles anyway. Look at the cam chain tensioner, just refresh that lower end, maybe put some S&S in there. But that's when they found the cam issues. And I didn't put two and two together at the time, but it's a 2020 bike. And I'm wondering if any of you out there have a 2020 and you have some problems that you're just not aware of, or maybe that you won't find them till later. I tend to put a lot of miles on the bike. So I reached 20,000 miles pretty quickly. I did 15,000 miles in 15 months. So I was figuring out and seeing problems pretty early. And some of you may not see them, I don't know, another year or so, maybe when you take your engine apart, want to refresh the low end. Or maybe your front wheel doesn't feel just right. But I would have never done the stage 2 had I not been forced to. Which made me, buy a tuner. I did the Thundermax, the wide band oxygen sensors. I did the whole deal. Some things I wanted to do, the fat baggers, the Saddlemen seat. This whole list, by the way, is in my description below. So if you want to see what I've got on this bike, just scroll down below. You can see everything. Of course, I did all the air deflectors, Kuryakyn shifter, tour pack and the lights. That was all me. And of course, getting the tour pack and and I had to get it painted because this is special paint on this bike. Harley doesn't even make a tour pack to match this. They said they couldn't guarantee the paint, so I had to go to a custom painter in town. But it just got me thinking. It's a 2020. My business, some of my manufacturers even shut down. They're still shut down. I can't get product till 2024 in some cases. But I wonder if any of you have had suspicions about your bike. Ooh, it is hot. If you have, maybe you should take it to your mechanic and to your dealer and maybe have them inspect the low end of that motor. Have them inspect the wheel. Have them inspect things that you might be questionable about. Because I'm thinking almost every manufacturer, and why should Harley be different? They've all had problems in 2020. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. No one's, had an accident or been killed by a 2020 bike because of bad parts. May have cost a lot of us some money. I spent, I don't know, $7,000 more than I wanted to, just from defective parts and labor. And it's a good thing I did have the wheel warranty. I really didn't have to pay for anything for that, but I was lucky to have that. So maybe you want to check it out. If you've got any suspicions at all, just remember, if you got a 2020, it was probably built during the C word.